The traffic stop that turned deadly. The story of Sandra Bland. It's July 10th, 2015. A hot summer day in Waller County, Texas. Sandra Bland, a 28-year-old black woman, is driving down the road. She has just landed a new job at Prairie View A&M University, her alma mater. She's excited. A new chapter in her life is beginning. As she drives, Sandra signals, she changes lanes, she sings along to her music. Everything feels ordinary. But within minutes, ordinary things turn into tragedy. Because Sandra Bland will never make it home. She is pulled over by State Trooper Brian Insinia for a minor traffic violation, failing to signal a lane change. On the surface, it should be routine. A warning, a ticket, maybe 5 minutes of inconvenience. But this stop is not routine. From the dashcam video, we hear Sandra's voice, calm at first. She asks why she's being stopped. The officer grows irritated, aggressive. He demands she put out her cigarette. Sandra refuses, reminding him she's in her own car. The officer orders her out of the vehicle. Sandra hesitates. She knows her rights, but her rights don't matter here. The situation escalates quickly. He yells. She pleads. He threatens her with a taser, shouting, "I will light you up." Terrified, Sandra steps out of the car. Moments later, she is slammed to the ground, her voice crying out, "You're about to break my wrist." Pedestrians watch. The dashcam records. A simple traffic stop has turned violent. Sandra is arrested and taken to the Waller County Jail. The charge? Assaulting a public servant. But here's the question. Who was really assaulted that day? Over the next 3 days, Sandra remains behind bars. She makes phone calls, asking friends and family for help with bail. She's frustrated, confused, overwhelmed. On July 13th, just 3 days after her arrest, Sandra Bland was found dead in her jail cell. The official report says suicide. But the questions begin immediately. Her family insists Sandra was not suicidal. She had just started a new job. She was planning her future. She was outspoken, strong, and a fighter. Why would she take her own life over a minor arrest? Activists point to inconsistencies in the jail story. Why wasn't she monitored properly? Why were procedures ignored? Why did her intake paperwork mark her as at risk, but no precautions were taken? And perhaps the biggest question of all, why was she arrested in the first place? Sandra's story spreads quickly online. The hashtag say her name becomes a rallying cry. Protests erupt across the country. Because Sandra Bland is not just one woman. She becomes a symbol of the dangers Black Americans, especially Black women, face in encounters with police. To understand why her story resonates, you have to understand Sandra herself. She was bright, outspoken. She had a strong social media presence where she spoke openly about police brutality and racial injustice. She recorded videos calling for change, urging people to stand up against systemic racism. One of her videos, recorded before her death, includes these words, "I'm here to change history. I'm ready to do what I need to do for this next generation." Her death silenced that voice, but it also amplified it. The state ruled Sandra's death a suicide. Some accepted it. Many did not. Whether you believe the official story or not, one truth remains. She should not have been in that jail cell to begin with. Her arrest was unnecessary, escalated, rooted in an abuse of power. Had she been given a warning, had her rights been respected, had she been treated as a citizen instead of a threat, she would be alive. The case forced America to confront a painful reality. How quickly minor encounters between police and Black citizens can escalate to violence, to arrest, and sometimes to death. It raised questions about police accountability, about the use of force, about the treatment of women, and specifically Black women, in custody. It exposed how a simple traffic stop can become a death sentence. In the aftermath, there were promises of reform. Texas passed the Sandra Bland Act in 2017, aimed at improving police training, mental health resources, and jail standards. But many critics say the reforms didn't go far enough. Because reforms don't change the fact that Sandra's life was taken. When we remember Sandra Bland, we must remember her not as just another name in a long list of tragedies. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a woman with dreams and a future. She had a voice, and she used it. She spoke out against injustice. And in the end, her own story became part of the very injustice she fought to change. Sandra's death forces us to ask hard questions. Why does a system built to protect us so often harm us instead? Why are black drivers stopped, searched, and arrested at higher rates than anyone else? Why is resistance to unfair treatment treated as a crime? And how many more lives will be lost before change comes? Sandra Bland's story is not just about a traffic stop. It's about a system of inequality. It's about the fragility of freedom when your skin color makes you a target. It's about how quickly an ordinary day can turn into a deadly encounter. Her name lives on as a reminder that justice is not always equal, a reminder that voices can be silenced, but movements cannot. Say her name, Sandra Bland, because until her story means change, the cycle will continue, and more names will be added to the list. Share your thoughts with me in the comments section.